Hello, I'm Heather.
And I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the podcast. It's game night, it's sibling rivalry, it's a walk down memory lane, but most importantly, it's politics free.
Guaranteed.
Welcome to round one of Same, but Different. Real quick before we start, if this is not your first episode of Same, but Different, and you don't want to hear the instructions again, skip ahead about a minute and a half to the start of the game. Here's how it works. We have two sets of cards, a blue set and a red set. On each of the blue cards is a scenario in which you might say something. And on each of the red cards is another scenario that might be a little more risque. For example, on a blue card, we might have something you can say while buying a car. On a red card, we might have and while hooking up with a stranger. Ryan and I, prior to recording and independently of each other, will come up with as many answers as we can to the combined scenarios. For example, using our cards above, something you can say while buying a car and while hooking up with a stranger, we might come up with the response,
"Does this come with Loop for Life?"
Or, "I get a discount, right?" We will compare notes and see who has come up with the highest number of unique responses, with 1 point awarded for each unique response, meaning the other person didn't also think of it. Whoever comes up with the highest number of unique responses earns the highest number of points and wins the ever-coveted Gloating Rights trophy.
Until we play again.
Again, the game we're playing is called Same, but Different. It was created by What Do You Meme and is available to purchase at whatdoyoumeme.com. Link in the show notes. They are not a sponsor. And finally, it should be noted that for podcast purposes, we are playing a modified version of the original game. Ryan, are you ready to compare notes?
Some of these were a little difficult.
Some of them were. I came up with answers for every one of them, but I'll be honest, there's one I only have one answer for. So here, let's go to the first two cards. So we have, number one, something you can say while training the new barista and at the Playboy Mansion. Ryan, did you come up with any answers for this scenario?
I came up with two answers.
All right, what you got?
Here, grab these jugs.
That is a great one. Love it. Love it. Excellent.
I need you to talk less and grind more.
Oh, I came up with let's get grinding. I think those cancel each other out because it's the same concept. Okay. Here's another one I came up with. Put your clothes back on. I don't know. It could happen.
Hey, you know what? Listen, Heath. They got bikini baristas these days. So, maybe she wasn't at the bikini stage yet.
Do they also have really strapped Speedo-wearing baristas that are male? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Or is it just the bikini?
You know what? It's entirely... And if there's not, I think there might be a market for that. Why can't we have strapping young men dressed in next to nothing making your coffee for you?
Well, I was going to say, there's Hooters, right?
Uh-huh. Ooh, I think that
Where's
doesn't
the
exist
Shooters?
anymore.
Oh, Hooters doesn't exist anymore?
I think they went out of business.
No kidding. I had not heard that. Literally never been to a Hooters in my life, so
Neither have I.
I don't really care, but R.I.P. Hooters. All right. I have one more response to the scenario, something you can say while training the new barista and at the Playboy Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as too hot. Huh?
Nice one, Heather. Good job. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of me, too.
So the running score now is 2-1. Your lead.
I have entered those scores. Let's go on to the next card.
Okay.
Ready?
All right.
All right, number 2. Something you can say while watching your house burn down and while buying tampons. Did you come up with anything for this,
yes.
Ryan? You did. Oh, good.
You ready?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
God, this is going to be so expensive.
Okay. That's a pretty good one. I had thought about putting that one down, but then I was like, tampons aren't really that expensive. So
Well,
are they? You know what?
I mean,
I'm going to go on a roll on this because here's my one and only answer to this.
okay.
Fuck this shit.
Nice. I'll have to pull some strings.
That's a good one. I like that one. Hurrah. I'm clapping for that.
And then another one that I came up with, but I think it's too similar to the first one, but this is going to cost me extra monthly.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to the first one. Yeah. I'll give you 2 for that, though. You had 2 good answers there. I only have the one answer. But here's the deal. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be open and honest. I do not use tampons.
Okay.
And I cannot possibly be the only woman that does not like tampons. There are other options. You don't have to.
I mean, they sell
other
pads
things,
and panty liners, Heather. I mean, I guarantee you're not the only woman that doesn't.
I can't stand them. That's why I said fuck this shit. Because my house is burning down. Fuck this shit. And now I got to use tampons. I don't want to use tampons. Okay? Fuck this shit. That's all I'm saying. You know what? Shout out to all the ladies that hate tampons. I'm on your side. Here we go. Did you have any other answers there, Ryan?
That was it.
Okay, so we're tied now. 3-3. Are you ready for card number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Something you can say after waking up in a hospital bed and when you walk in on your parents having sex. My first answer, what am I doing here? What you got? What you got?
Is that your only answer?
No, I have a bunch.
Oh, you have a bunch? Damn it. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a few, but not a bunch.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you want me to just run down mine really quick?
Sure.
Since I started. Okay. So, what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd like to leave now because I'm not one to stay in a hospital bed for very long or in the room where my parents are having sex. I want to leave now.
Sure.
I don't deserve this. Okay. Also, I think I might just say gross because, what if I wake up and like half my face is gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gross. I'm just, I never asked for this. Why me? What the fuck? Literally any exclamation. I could have done like 25, but like just any exclamation will do in this because it fits both scenarios real well.
Listen, I put one exclamation in mine.
Okay.
Because I feel like the exclamations, it's too easy.
It is too easy. I
will award you 1 point for an exclamation.
That's what I was going to say. I wasn't going to count. I just started to do, I put 2 exclamations, so I'll only take 1.
Okay.
But literally any exclamation will suit both of these scenarios.
Okay.
For card number 3, something you can say after waking up in a hospital bed and when you walk in on your parents having sex.
This is not my room.
Okay.
I have been in here for way too long.
Good one.
Oh, God, why?
Good.
I hope I didn't get any brain damage.
You know what? That's a great one. Those are all fantastic. I'm going to give you 3 for that because basically you both came up with exclamations, so they cancel each other out.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. So we're still tied up.
All right.
Okay, well, wait for it because card number 4, something you can say in the principal's office and while losing your virginity. Go ahead, Ryan.
I take it you came up with a lot for this one, huh?
I have 4 for this one.
Okay. All right. I got go easy on me.
Okay.
I'm not into punishment.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Good. Hey, you know what? That's 2 I didn't think of. Here's some of mine. In answer to something you can say in the principal's office and while losing your virginity, please don't tell my parents. Also, I thought, which can be interpreted 2 different ways. Like, ugh. Ryan, listen, losing virginity is different for guys than it is for girls. Just trust me. Could be in the cards.
Okay. All right, Eb.
All right. Next answer. I'm probably going to regret this.
Sure.
Be in the principal's office, whatever it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And also, is this going to be over soon?
Awesome. Good job, Heather.
Excellent. I just took the lead by 2.
Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Because I'm the best. Number 5. Something you can say while taking a family photo and at the gynecologist.
This gown is so uncomfortable.
Good one.
Don't pucker your lips.
You know what? That's a fantastic one. Love it. Love it.
That's all I got.
Okay. Here's what I got. Something you can say while taking a family photo and at the gynecologist. How long is this going to take? I'd rather be somewhere else. Ryan, you've never been to the gynecologist,
I have not.
most likely. No. Boy, do I have a fucking story for you. I'll tell it after we tally up the scores.
That response doesn't make any sense.
No. Listen. Actually, that'd be a great response.
No, Heather,
You could be in conversation with your gynecologist. Okay. I'd rather be somewhere else. I hate getting pap smears. I'm just going to say that. But also, a lot of people hate their families. So I feel like that's a good comment that you could say in either one of those scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've got cervical cancer. Why not? You might tell your family about that at Family Photo Day. And also, if it's a new gynecologist, you might want to inform them about the situation.
No, Heather, no. I could literally say anything and fucking justify it being like, I can say that in either place. I could literally say anything I want to say wherever I'm at.
Point well taken, Ryan. I will strike that one from my list.
Good.
Here's my final one. Smile, even though you've got nothing to smile about. Look, I said however many unique responses we come up, we don't get to just willy-nilly rule out each other's responses.
Yeah, no, I think we can debate each other's responses because, Heather, would you say that at the gynecologist's office?
Well, you know what? Here's what I would say at the gynecologist's office. I've got nothing to smile about.
But
which I would also say at a family photo.
Why would you say that at the gynecologist's office?
Because at the gynecologist's office, Ryan, I have nothing to fucking smile about.
Does the doctor tell you to smile?
Maybe.
Has a doctor ever asked you to smile?
You know what? Let me explain something to you. Let me tell you about a gynecological experience I once had, Ryan.
Okay.
Which was the first time I ever went to a gynecologist.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know how this works. So for anybody listening, or Ryan, if you might not know, they take this clamp.
The duckbills?
It's like with a duckbill. Yeah, that's a good description. And they stick it in there and they open it.
And they don't warm it up for you? They just shove it in cold?
They don't warm it up for you. It's metal and it's cold. And they shove it in there. Actually, they use plastic now, but this one was metal. And it was cold, and it was enormous. In fact, for a long time, I had to specifically request child size, okay? Since we're getting personal. But this one was full-blown adult size.
Fucking child size? What? Hold up! Hold up!
They have a child size one. I never thought about it until this moment. So what happened was, I was very resistant to this giant metal duckbill thing, and I was very uncomfortable, and I was rejecting. It was not going in. It was not happening. It was painful, and it was horrible. And the gynecologist was like,
said, don't pucker your lips.
Said, you gotta relax, and started smacking my butt. Ryan.
Are you serious?
You gotta relax, girl. I was like, it was a woman, which makes it no better because it didn't help and I didn't relax. And it was a freaking nightmare. Okay, so Ryan, I have nothing to fucking smile about and I'm leaving it on the list.
Did you say it then, Heather? Did you say that then?
Okay, you know what? Modification. I can't relax, which I would say also add a family photo.
Heather, I was gonna say you should have just used that one.
Either way, I get 3 and you get 2, and it was traumatic, okay? I don't want to think about it anymore.
Excellent. Guess what, Heather?
What?
Heather, you won. You won on your own merit, Heather. Are you proud? You better be proud of yourself.
I'm super proud of myself.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, I love you. All right, so Ryan, let me get the running totals here. So 13, lucky number 13 for me. Ryan, you got 10.
Nice.
Also, I'm pretty sure that was like sexual harassment.
Yes.
I think I could have sued.
I think you could have. Was there another person in the office with you?
No.
It was just the two of you?
It was just, well, now, I don't know how the laws are because they're different from state to state. I know in New York, if a man does the pap smear, there has to be another woman in the room.
Right.
Legally. But if a woman does it, I don't think that's a requirement because I've had just a female in there with me.
I'm trying to think because, like, whenever I've gone to the doctor, because I had a woman doctor forever, and she just recently quit, so I no longer have a doctor. But she's always done her exams, like, just me and her. But it was, like, looking at my knee or, like, an injury or something like that.
Right.
So, like, nothing like,
well,
finger in the butt. Not yet.
Not yet for you, huh? Looking forward to it?
Not
Just
at all.
Kidding.
I'm glad they don't use duck bills that I know of for prostate exams, so at least I got that going for me.
I'm happy for you.
Apparently, for men here, we don't get fingers in our butts till we're 40, and at least we don't get fingers in our butts apparently when we're fucking children.
You know what I'm thinking is, it's a very unpleasant topic to bring up when we try to be lighthearted, but, sexual assault can be done on a child of any age. So it's like maybe they need that in those instances.
Right.
Or
I was more referring to the fact that there's child-sized duck bills, that there's children that apparently need pap smears.
Yeah, they might use them for other purposes too, like forensics is what I'm talking about. Potentially.
Gotcha.
Or an illness that might require a look down there for something. I don't think that they don't do pap smears on. Well, the minute you start getting your period, and girls are getting their periods like young now, like 10, 11, 12. So, I don't know.
Yeah, Sophie started hers when she was 12 and Chloe just started hers, but after she turned 13.
We're waiting for Charlie to start hers any day here, getting ready for it. Prepping.
Did I tell you about the cake that Chloe made, her period cake?
I saw the pictures on Facebook, yeah. For anybody that didn't see the picture, cake, Barbie doll, spread eagle on the cake, blood just gushing out of Barbie doll. Very creative. Well, along this line, Ryan, I thought it would be fun to look on Reddit for some OB/GYN horror stories.
Oh, boy.
And I got some.
Did you post your horror story on there?
I did not know. I probably should have. I didn't even think about that when I was posting it. But here's what I got. I got some that I asked for and some that I went and found. So we'll do the ones I found first, then we'll do the ones I asked for. Here we go. From Abort, Retry, Implode. Wasn't my OB/GYN, but it was my regular doctor. She walks into the room, puts gloves on. I assume the position. Exam starts, and all of a sudden, it's like 1,000,000 angry bees are stinging my lady bits. And the bees have been dipped in habanero sauce, and they're carrying mosquitoes in their little bee arms. I jump up out of the stirrups, and she's going, "What's wrong? What's wrong? Let me see." By this point, I have hives and blistery things all over my nether regions, and I'm pretty sure inside as well. The doctor assumes I have a latex allergy. I don't have a latex allergy. So they start asking me about other allergies, and I list off all of my medications and then say, and peanuts. And the doctor's face kind of fell. She ate a peanut butter sandwich for lunch and apparently didn't wash her hands or didn't do a good job of it, and it transferred to the gloves when she grabbed them out of the little glove holder box. The extra shitty part was that I had to go back to work after that, and it itched and burned like you wouldn't believe. Awful day to have a desk job.
I feel like there's some malpractice suit right there.
She should sue that. Sue that doctor. Sue her. Where are you? It's been 6 years. I don't know. Is there a statute of limitations? Get busy with the lawyers.
Yeah, no kidding. That is crazy. Like, as a doctor,
nuts,
why would you, like, you know that people have severe allergies to that kind of stuff. Why would you even, like, bring that for lunch? I feel like there's just too much that could go wrong. Especially when you're up inside of people.
I wish everybody could have seen your hand motion with that. That was priceless. But they can't, so we'll keep going. From PM Me Your Beard. Went through all the normal stuff. Cool, good times. The doctor, who by the way is a man, which makes some women cringe, asked me how my bowel movements were. I said, pretty normal, but actually had one that was, I'm not going to describe the slightly atypical poop I had, whatever.
Wait.
With absolutely no, so she's not going to describe. She describes to him, she describes to him the abnormal bowel movement that she had.
Gotcha.
With absolutely no warning, he shoved a finger up my butthole. I wish I could have recorded the noise that came out of me.
Wrong hole!
I know. Come on, Doc. All right, now we're going to go grab the ones that people actually answered, the one I specifically requested. Amazing. Doesn't always happen. Over here, yonder on Reddit, I asked, what was your most story-worthy experience at the gynecologist? From Obi Mom Kenobi. Love that name. One time, I was at a new gynecologist, and he was kind of rude, and I guess not gentle. Anyway, I had a seizure about it, then woke up and immediately barfed. He just walked out and had the nurse deal with it. I never went back. I read later it's just a thing that can happen to some people as a reflex, and I was afraid for years it would happen again, but it never did. Wow, how bad do you have to be at that to give someone a seizure?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is absolutely nuts.
I mean, how often does that happen that the doctor's like, meh, hey, nurse, deal with this?
I know. I don't know. I've had pretty good doctors. I haven't, other than the butt-slapping gynecologist, right. Everybody else has been pretty fine, so.
Like, I feel like, listen, I think it's super weird that there's guys that specialize in gynecology. I feel like there's ulterior motive as a man to be like, you know what? I want to be a gynecologist. Yeah, of course you do. I bet you do.
You know, I've heard it's very lucrative. I don't know. I guess I have had that thought, like, where it just seems like, do ya? Because you get to do breast exams, too, when you're a gynecologist.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I honestly don't, like, there's not a single male gynecologist I'm like, I do it because I care about women. The fuck you do? You just want to look at pussy and tits all day.
I'm kind of happy right now that we don't have a huge audience for the podcast, because I feel like we would get a lot of hate mail after that comment. I'm sure there are loving, caring male gynecologists out there. Thank you for your attention to our lady bits.
Our biggest fan is apparently a gynecologist who is male.
Oh God, if that's you,
listener.
All right, here we go. From Marissa Latex. I had several miscarriages before we got pregnant with my last daughter. Before we got pregnant the last time, I had gone into the OBGYN to make sure that my body was okay to try again and that everything was in order so that we could avoid another miscarriage, as this was going to be our last attempt. The talk of making a baby had really gotten to my husband and to me, and so when we went into the exam room to get ready and wait for the doctor, we got a little turned on, me with no pants on and laying on the exam table at the right height for access. That my husband unzipped his pants and slid into me. It only lasted a couple of minutes before noises in the hall made me scared of getting caught, so I pushed him away and made him sit back down in the chair. The doctor walked in about 5 or 10 minutes later. After the exam, we went right home and finished what we started. That was an NSFW story.
I was waiting for the doctor's like, so you just had sex, huh? I can tell.
We could hear you through the wall. My office is right on the other side.
Oh, my God.
All right, now, Ryan.
Yes.
I am happy to report that we got a 5-star review.
Really? Is it from somebody we know?
No, and it's actually a DM that a listener sent me, and she did not rate it with stars, but I'm adding the 5 stars, and I'm going to read you this message that we got.
Wait, so we got a response from somebody we don't know.
Somebody we didn't know, but somebody is now our best friend, and that somebody, Ryan, is Lone Virgo 2022 on Instagram. And this is what she says. I was at work tonight listening to y'all podcast. I always listen to it at work, and I listen to it with earbuds and laugh my ass off. But the 10th trolley one was extremely funny, which, by the way, that's our trial by trolley 10 rounds that we just did. Uh-huh. Listen to it from 1 through 10 because it's funnier when you have them all behind you and you get to 10. And the people around me were staring at me like I had an alien growing out of my nose or something, and I almost peed my pants laughing so hard. I love y'all sibling rivalry. Keep up the good work. Can't wait. Tell y'all next game.
That's
Boom.
awesome.
Boom. That's a 5-star review.
That is a 5-star review. I'll take it.
Awesome. Hey, tell all the people at work about the podcast so they know what you're laughing at, and then they'll listen, and you can all laugh together. It could be a podcast listening party.
I love how I tell people at work that I do a podcast, and they're like, "Oh, what podcast?" They're super interested, and then I tell them what podcast. They're like, "Oh, okay, cool," and they just go about doing their business.
Because they've never heard of it before, and they think it's something they probably heard of. You think, or
I don't know. They just lose interest immediately, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, fuck you too, John."
Well, it's not for everybody.
No.
It's not for everybody. And there are so many different topics of podcasts. But anyway.
Although we do have one of my coworkers that listens or listened. I don't know if because we took a break for a while, so she might have stopped.
We did. You should tell her we're back on so she can listen again if she wants to. Yeah. By the way, in addition to awesomely telling somebody about the podcast this week, send us your stories. You can email them to me at thepoliticsfreepodcast@outlook.com. We want to thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for coming back every week. Thank you for telling a friend. Have a pleasant, wonderful, happy, awesome, great
New Year
week and New Year, but also week.
Yes.
Until
we play again.